What's up, guys? TheDevildogGamer here, and I'm going to be talking about the Battlefield 2042 reveal trailer. I wasn't going to make a video on this, but there's a few things that I kind of want to talk about a little bit before we get to the gameplay trailer on Sunday. And I'm probably going to say Battlefield 2142 a million times because, well, Battlefield just says, you know what, we have our famous 2142 game, let's make a 2042 game, and it's just going to confuse the shit out of everybody. They could have done, I don't know, anything other than this. But anyways, I didn't love the trailer, and I didn't hate the trailer, to be honest. It definitely is something different, and you know what, it's a huge step above the Battlefield 5 trailer, which was absolute dog shit garbage. But at the same time, it wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't really what I expected. So, we're not really going to talk a lot about the gameplay details that have been released, just more about the trailer and stuff. Well, you know, we'll do a little bit of both. One of the big issues I have is no single player. Now, that's either a good thing or a bad thing. A good thing in the sense that the money that they were going to spend on a single player got dumped into the multiplayer experience, which is going to make it a million times better. Or a bad thing in that, you know, the multiplayer is going to be exactly what you would expect from Battlefield 4 or anything like that, just minus the single-player campaign, which has always just been, you know, a huge thing lately for Battlefield, and suddenly they just kind of take it away. Could be, you know, good, couldn't, you know, I don't know, who knows. One of the cool things, though, I do like with the gameplay is that all weapons will be open to all specialists, so that way you can be an assault class and carry a sniper rifle, which will be really cool, which I'm really looking forward to. 128 players will be awesome. And by the way, that stupid thing, this Ripsaw tank, can we just remove it from every game and movie? I don't know why we keep bringing this thing back. It's a piece of shit, and they're even testing it as an unmanned vehicle now because it was a piece of shit, and it's definitely not doing very well in the unmanned portion. Some reason every movie and video game out there just takes this thing and says, this thing's so cool, let's put it... No, it's garbage, dude. It's serious garbage. Can we just stop having this thing in games and movies, for fuck's sakes? So, the trailer was cool, but there were inaccuracies, like the Ka-52 with Hellfires. I've complained about this in so many Battlefield games, it's not even funny. They hire no military advisors ever. They simply do not do a quick Google search as to, hey, wonder what the Ka-52 carries, or, hey, does an F-18 belong on an LHD? Simple things like that. They don't even do that, and they just throw it in the game, and they're like, oh, this is the greatest thing we've ever made. And I'm like, dude, like, how could you just not simply Google? It just shows, and that's what scares me, dude, is that they're not even bothered to fucking Google something, but yet they're spending all this money, and this is going to be the game that saves the franchise. Ugh, we'll see. But the big thing, you know, I mean, I kind of liked the trailer. It was really cool, really well done. I didn't like how they were just like, hey, look at me, look, you can still do this awesome stuff, like the Renzook that they're doing here. It's like, we're still your awesome Battlefield, don't worry, you can do all your favorite cool things, you know. But it was kind of like, really, it was kind of unneeded, but at the same time, I was like, alright, you know, show those cool Battlefield moments, like jumping off the cliff right at the start, you know, ATV into a helicopter, and then the Renzook. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's pretty cool. But the maps are supposed to be bigger. The maps actually look really cool. With the, you know, and the funny thing is with the 2042 setting, right now in 2021, we got some pretty unique weapon systems. And I think with 2042, those weapon systems are going to get a little more advanced. Like we've seen tanks, I think it's the Leopard 2A7 we see, and the Armada, the T14. Popping up around there. So it's kind of, I think we're going to get older stuff for the ground vehicles, minus maybe some unmanned shit here and there. But, you know, look, in tornadoes, like, you know, we got to have Levolution. And tornadoes will actually be kind of cool. I like a Levolution that could just suck people up and spit them out and things like that would be a lot of fun. So, I mean, I'm excited. I mean, the tornado is a little unexpected. It would be kind of cool. Earthquakes, maybe different types of natural disasters. Because this is supposed to be taking place in a, you know, in the future where sea levels are rising, our world's kind of dying, and everyone's fighting over the last little the piece of the puzzle kind of thing. And I think it'll be interesting to have that. But when it comes to futuristic stuff like the Boston Dynamics robot walking around with the gun, 100% plausible. Like if it goes into that 2042, that's a good amount of time from now. So that is completely possible. Loiter munitions might actually be a thing, a drone you throw up or tracks and then you call it down on a target and it'll kind of suicide mission into it. That has been used constantly in war lately. That could absolutely be a thing in the future. Tracking point shots, where you just mark a target and it'll auto fire for a headshot for you, kind of like the tracking point rifle optics that we have. There'll be a lot of really cool things. Air burst munitions, auto guiding munitions, all kinds of different things that could possibly be in the game. Tanks with APS or drone swarms to protect them. Aircraft with drone swarms to protect them. Suicide drones. Loyal co-pilot. What is it? You know what I'm talking about. The co-pilot drone that'll fly with you. Wingman. Loyal wingman like drone that'll fly with you and kind of take out enemies or defend you if possible. There's a lot that can really happen when it comes to the near future with weapons and things like that. They are doing something with specialists, where specialists to get their special kind of perk thing, and it kind of seems like they're doing seasons, kind of similar to Warzone with that, which will be kind of cool, kind of keep with the longevity of the game. But I'm really looking forward to seeing the scale of it. Apparently the airspace around everything, how you get to the edge of the map with a plane and all of a sudden turn around, no, it expanded for aircraft. To either good or bad. So I don't want an Apache longbow hanging out a map, doing lock on after launch on Hellfires before I can even see them or do anything like that. So it might add to some stress, I should say, to everything else, but at the same time, it might actually be pretty cool and add some, more variation of the gameplay. Now you're not in this little fishbowl with aircraft, but at the same time, like, you can kind of be a chopper and do chopper things instead of like, well, everyone's shooting at me as I fly over and kill stuff, so you know what I mean? So you'll see from that. But one of the things that kind of caught my attention that somebody was saying was that these aren't nations that are fighting. These are PMC groups hired by nations. So it's not Russia versus US. So in a sense, it is, but it's not their ground troops. It's kind of paid for ground troops, mercenaries, mercs, PMCs, all the same stuff, which is interesting that it would be that way. I thought, I guess with the geopolitical reasons that are going on right now, throwing a nation onto the top game for your company, versus another, it would be kind of suicide in a sense. So I kind of see why they're doing it this way. It kind of keeps them out of the political storm of things, but at the same time, it allows them to do these big conflicts. But I don't know. It would have been nice to be like China versus Russia versus U.S. or NATO versus a reformed Warsaw Pact or anything like that. Would have been pretty cool and allow for a bunch of different variations because hell, the Cold War's back, baby. We're back 2.0. Might as well just go back to that in the sense of gameplay wise. I'm really looking forward to the weapon systems. One of the things that they are going to do is something similar to Crisis, to where you can change out the attachments of your weapon on the fly. Take your ACOG off, throw a red dot on, underbarrel grenade launcher. That's all fine and dandy and stuff like that. But the only one thing that drives me wild with that is, like, take off your grenade launcher, whatever, man, but in your grip. But like scopes, dude, those got to be zeroed, man. Even in 2042, I guarantee those things got to be zeroed. You come ripping off an ACOG and you put a red dot on, I swear you're not going to be hitting where you're supposed to. Unless you somehow marked it and your torque marks, like you may be close. Even lasers, but I don't know, it's a video game. It's not supposed to be super realistic. But at the same time, I'm like, why, dude? Because you're always going to get that one guy, you're like, I can just take scopes off and switch them out because Battlefield told me to. And they go to the range and they're like, I can't hit anything. And be like, dude, you're hitting my target. Will you stop? And I feel like that's kind of what's going to happen. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to do more of a deep dive into the information once we get the gameplay video this weekend, this Sunday, because I want to see the gameplay. The teaser trailer was pretty cool, but I saw some things that I'm like, like with the Hellfires, like some just easily fixable mistakes in it that could easily be, a sign to things to come, you know what I mean? Because we all saw how shitty the Battlefield 5 trailer was and how shitty the game was. So, I'm not going to wait to put my mark on it, but I'm gonna do a video after we get the gameplay trailer, see what it's all about. Kind of get all the information together, go into a deep dive of everything, and kind of you know, explain, you know, my thoughts on it and what we can, you know, expect from the game. And, you know, is it going to be really the Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3 killer that we're all hoping it will really be? But anyways, boys, let me know what you think. Questions, comments, concerns, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.